Kim, did you make me host? I don't see the, wait a minute, let me see. It doesn't look like I have the permissions to um, admit the participants.
You did what?
No, I was telling Kim, it looked like I don't have the permissions to allow the people in, permit them into the meeting.
Kim, can you hear her? She on mute. You sound like you got a head cold.
You got it now?
Let me see.
Now, when the presenters come on, you have to, I made you the host, Ariel.
Okay.
So when the people come on, you have to make them the co-host.
Okay.
And you can make Suzette a co-host too. She can let people in too.
Okay.
What?
And Mary did say that she'll share her own slides.
Okay, I just made Miss Suzette co-host too.
What? What do I do? I don't know what to do.
I think it's just like when the people come in, we just let them in. We can mute everybody if nobody's muting them. You know what I'm saying? If their background's too loud and they can't hear us, we just mute them. I got it, Miss Suzette. Don't worry about it. We gonna
okay if you say so.
Do you want to have the breakout rooms?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Because the bottom line is this. I don't know exactly how many people it's going to be. So, I mean, if you have questions, well, I did talk to Brittany yesterday, and I'm not envisioning that her presentation is going to be that long. So after Mary does her presentation, if people have questions, then they could just ask Mary. And then after Brittany does her presentation, then people can just ask her questions, whatever.
Okay.
So we ain't got to make this. Kim is not here doing her thing, or she's here but she's not in here, and who knows if she has to, whatever. We'll just do it like that. Is anybody here yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so I did talk to Brittany extensively yesterday and told her to come 15 minutes early, so we'll see. Okay, I did comb my hair. Yeah, you got suntan. Oh, what does that? The thing at the top of my screen, it says admit. What does that mean?
It just says iPad, but see, that person don't have a name up there. So we don't know who that is, so
Okay. Okay, so iPad is in the waiting room. Oh, I see that. Oh, I see that I could do that. So then if I wanted to admit that person, then I could just hit admit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But see, they don't have a name up there. And typically when they don't have no name up there, we don't admit them because it's like, well, who are you?
Okay, because you know what the thing is, I'm gonna hit view to see what it says. Oh, it just says iPad. Okay, well, whatever. I'm gonna ask, who is this? It says iPad, who are you?
And then typically that iPad person always shows up. They do. It's like they be at every meeting, but they don't never say who they are.
Okay, well, I just put iPad, who are you? Did you see that in the,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm. They ain't saying nothing.
Okay.
They never do. We ignore them. We just ignore them. And Miss Mary should be logging on any minute now, right?
Yeah, Mary Dixon. Mary Dixon. Mary Dixon, JD.
All right.
JD is the director of Family to Family Health Information Center, not to be confused with Family to Family, not to be confused with Family to Family, who we are.
Who is that? Evisha.
Yeah.
Let's see, Kim as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Evisha, hey girl, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So Ariel, is Kim off? Is she off the?
She did. She did.
So she's out of the meeting.
I think she popped out for a second. Wait a minute. Let me double check. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Alrighty. Got my little papers and everything. I'm good. So Ariel, I did invite Victoria, the lady who does the African drumming.
Uh-huh.
And she on Thursdays in my neighborhood, we have Argyle's street market, and then they have entertainment and stuff. And so she is part of the entertainment tonight at the Argyle street market. So I told her to try. I don't know what she has going on, but I told her to try to come on.
Okay.
All right. So this is Mary, our
Does
Okay.
does Ariel have I mean Ariel, I'm sorry. Does Victoria, does she have autism?
Yes. Yeah, you know
Okay.
her. You know her.
Yeah, we had her at the I Can Dream Center this spring. She actually reached out to me on social media, and our students loved it.
She is awesome. And they also are going to be at the Millennium Park on, I think it's the 22nd Sunday.
Oh,
She's
great.
going to be playing with some group at in Millennium Park. But yeah, I'll be seeing her tonight. Hopefully she can jump on today. And I told her, try to jump on today and give people information about tonight and Sunday. So I don't know.
Okay, before you guys continue, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. You said this is Miss Mary, right? The ARC webinar?
Yes, that's Miss Mary.
Okay.
Hey, Mary Dixon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so this is the deal. So this is Ariel. She's one of our people with the program.
Hi,
And,
Ariel.
Hello.
Ariel, and
Yep.
she is a co-host. And then we are making you a co-host. Now, this is not my forte. I'm sort of like out of my realm with this, but Kim is in Florida. So she's doing her thing from Florida. So Ariel and I are trying to hold this down. Well, mostly Ariel, not me. But
Okay, Miss Mary, I've made you the co-host, so you'll be
I
able
can
to
share my screen. Okay.
Yes.
And will I be starting? Do you want me to pull that up or later?
okay, so basically this is the format. So what happens now, this part I do know about. What happens is being the host, I tell a little bit about our background because, we never know. We have new people, so we have to go over that. And then once I do that, then I will ask people individually to introduce themselves. And then once people introduce themselves and say a little bit about where they're from, then I will tell them that we have a special guest. That would be you, Miss Mary.
Oh,
And then you can do your presentation. So we're supposed to have two people, you and someone else from Ringo, Brittany Ringo from Streamwood Behavioral Health, the manager of the marketing. So we have two people. And
okay.
so usually what happens is that we have the breakout sessions after the two people speak or present. I don't know if you'll be able to stay for the duration of the meeting, but either way, after you do your presentation, I will ask people if they have questions for you. And
Okay.
so then they can ask you questions or whatever. And then once that's finished, then I will introduce Brittany, and then Brittany will do her thing.
Okay. Sounds good.
All righty.
Got this
So
weird thing in my face.
it's okay. So Ariel, we are not going to see your face? Are we going to see your face or what? What's going on, baby?
I am not camera ready today. I am
Okay.
not. I am not
Okay.
camera ready.
Okay. All righty then. What you say, you're not camera ready? It's all good. Well, I have to show my face, so wait. I did comb my hair. Whoa.
Hey, you cute. You're cute.
I did comb my hair.
I see iPad entered the waiting room.
They're
I
gonna
know,
be
and
there
you know
because
what?
they
And this
won't
is the
tell us who
thing.
they are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I said, iPad, who are you?
Yeah,
And they didn't say, so
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We're not gonna let the iPad into the waiting.
No.
no, we are not.
No.
I might not know a lot, but I know that if you don't introduce yourself or identify who you are, we don't let you in. So Mary, I just want to say thank you so very much for doing this.
Oh, you're
And-
welcome.
And I
Happy to.
did contact my girl, Nancy Aguirre from CR. What is it?
Essay?
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Yes.
she said she'll be in attendance. So
Oh, wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. How many do you suppose are attending?
It just depends. It depends. Sometimes, well, we have anywhere between 12 and 30 people.
Okay,
I am not anticipating a whole bunch this meeting because it is July and people are on vacation. So
right.
we'll see.
Yeah. I get it.
But however many we have, Mary, we're gonna have a Zoom party, so it'll be all. And you'll be making
We're zooming.
Yes, you'll be zooming and you'll be making your presentation and giving information. So
Yeah,
it's all
that's
good.
good. I agree.
And Suzette, you're right. My sinuses are just really ugh.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
And for the last couple of days, I've had like not so much sneezing, but like a little bit of coughing and drippy and drippy nose. And I'm like, what is this all about?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, Ariel, you can let Nami Snuff Suburban. That's Mary Ann. You can let her in. And
Mhm.
Allison from California, you can let her in.
Yep. I've admitted them.
Hey, Mary Ann. Hey, Allison. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. How are you? Good. Thank you for
Good
asking.
morning.
Hi, Mary Ann. Allison, nice to meet you.
Nice
Hello.
to meet you.
Oh, I gotta change. I'm not Arc Webinar. I'm Mary Dixon.
Okay. So Allison, what's the weather in California? Is it real hot? Because it's kind of hot here.
It's 80 degrees here, about 80.
Okay, so it's 85 in Chicago, so we rolling. So we're not mad at you this time.
I appreciate it. I'm glad. I know when the months come, August, September, it's going to be probably different story.
Yes, then we'll be mad at you. So
Of course.
Mary, Allison is from California, and when we had those really cold months, she would just bother us and tell us, "Oh, it's 75 in sunny California."
Yeah.
Good morning, Brittany. How's a sister doing?
Good morning. I'm doing wonderful this morning. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
Hey, Gia.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So did it change from symptoma to?
Not yet.
Okay.
So
So now
we're
what
still
is it
waiting.
going to change
It
to?
was supposed to be July 1st, but it's taking a little bit longer than we expected.
Okay. So you'll tell us about that.
I will. Mhm.
Okay. Well, welcome, baby.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hey, Marianne, how are you? Marianne? Maybe she walked away.
Stepped away, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Good morning. It's Mary Ann.
Hey, Marianne, how are you?
Fine, fine. How are you?
I'm good. And how's your daughter?
Doing real well, thank you.
Good, good. Glad to see you.
Thank you.
So usually we give people a little bit time to sign in. So usually about five after. But I just want to encourage everyone who is signing on to please, please, please sign the digital attendance sheet.
Yes.
And you
please
can do that
It
in
is
the chat box. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, Ariel, I pay attention a little bit.
Oh, geez, with sartoma.
Yeah. Mary, we're rolling over here, girl.
I know. I'm pleased to see.
Sure. Okay, just in case.
Is the digital sign sheet also in the Zoom or just in Facebook?
It's a link. It's a link in the chat. You just tap the link and it should permit you to let in John Patterson. It should permit you to take you to where you can sign in.
Because I'm in the chat now. I don't see.
You see it?
I do not. I see meeting chat and I see Gina Washington said hello, and Brittany put where she's from, but I don't see it.
It should take it's the link that I just put it right back in. I'm gonna put it in there one more time. Let's see.
Okay.
I see it.
I got the link as a direct message, so that could be why, maybe.
It's also where I put in there the first message to everyone says Happy Thursday, everyone, welcome and sign. You don't see that one?
I see
And
that.
And
I
the
don't see
the link is right there at the end of the message. That's okay. I'm gonna put it back in for everyone.
Okay.
Good morning, John Patterson. How's the brother doing? Oh, he's connecting to the audio.
Sheet link. Okay, let's see if this one comes through for you. Okay, you see it? Did it pop up this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
John, it's taking a long time for John to connect to audio. Hey, look, David Spellman clocking in from North Carolina. Hey, David, how are you?
What's going on, Miss Suzette? Good morning, family.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Always a pleasure to see you. Hi, Kelly Jones.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good to
Good.
be
And you know what? I did send an email to those two people that you gave me. So
I saw that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Hopefully they can make it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's John Patterson. It's taking a long time for him to connect to audio.
Okay. Let's see. It's Kristen.
Good morning, Kristen. What is it?
Okay, Miss Suzette, you want to give people maybe one more minute and then go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. I thought I was late because
we were waiting for you.
I met my dad. He's sick.
You're at your dad's and he's sick?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to say send positive thoughts to you and say a prayer for your daddy.
Is Kim on the call?
Okay, so this is the deal. Kim is right now in Florida. Lucky her. And and she is going to be popping in and out. So later, we'll be seeing her later. Okay.
Okay.
John, I don't know what's up with your audio. John Patterson from DCFS. Okay, so we got about, oh, there you go. Hey, John Patterson from DCFS, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so it is 10:07, and so I'm just gonna start and do my thing here, and then because I know some people have to leave early and they have to jump off or whatever. But if people come in, they just come in and we'll carry on. Okay. So everyone, good morning. Thank you for welcome to our Zoom party, and thank you for joining us today. I am Lion Suzette Logan, and this is the National Provider Network LAN 53. So I'm just going to give a little bit of information about the National Provider Network LAN 53. National Provider Network LAN 53 brings together organizations, schools, and agencies to support the community, local and national. We are a professional network aimed at breaking down and erasing barriers to education, health, physical and mental, and supporting economic stability for our youth and their families. The National Provider Network began as a regional meeting of community providers known as LAN 53. LAN 53 served children and families through the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. And then in 2019, Family to Family Federation for Children's Mental Health joined LAN 53 as the lead agency with the task of strengthening the organization and to grow the network. Then in 2020, Lions Club International Foundation joined the network, providing funding through LAN 53 for social emotional learning and training for organizations that serve youth. During the COVID pandemic, Zoom meetings afforded us the opportunity to provide intellectual and compassionate conversations around the access to basic services beyond our geographical borders. Those borders being the 4 townships that we initially covered: Rich, Brennan, Thornton, and Bloom, and the communities of Harvey, Dalton, Calumet City, and Robbins. And so to that end, in 2022, the LAN 53 was rebranded as the National Provider Network. So I would just like to say welcome again. And we're going to get this party started. So get comfortable, get your tea, get your coffee, water, soda, and then I will call on people to introduce themselves, and you can tell a little bit about where you're from and what you do. And once the introductions are taken care of, then I will introduce you to our 2 speakers that we have today, Miss Mary Dixon and Miss Brittany Ringo. Okay, so how about this? I'll just go around the screen. And so Mary, you're first up, baby. You could introduce yourself.
Well, thanks for inviting me to speak. I'm happy to have this chance. I am the director of the Family to Family Health Information Center at the ARC of Illinois. I don't know whether many of you have heard about the ARC of Illinois, but we're a statewide nonprofit. Most of our programs are state grant funded. Mine is a federal grant funded program, and we're not providers of direct services, but I'll get into what I do in the PowerPoint later. I'm just happy to meet you. I see some NAMI representatives and of course, and Sertoma. And so I'm interested to hear your intros and see how we can collaborate.
Thank you, Mary, and welcome to our party. Next up, we have my friend, David Spellman.
Good morning, everybody. David Spellman, based in Charlotte, but my impact reaches all over, and I destigmatize hip hop for educational consumption.
Thank you, David. Next up, we have Miss Kelly Jones.
Good morning. My name is Kelly Jones. I'm a senior health educator with Cook County Health Department in community engagement and health education. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Kelly. Next up, we have Miss Gia Washington.
Good morning. I am Gia Washington. I'm the Director of Community Education at Sertoma Center.
Thank you, Gia. And then we have my girl, Ariel. Ariel. Oh, Ariel. Okay, well, we'll come back to Ariel. Next up, we have I Can Dream Center.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Visha Ford. I'm the founding executive director of the I Can Dream Center. We're located in Tinley Park and we serve students with disabilities ages 3 to 9 and 14 to 22.
Thank you, Evisha. Next up, we have Brittany Ringo, who is one of our presenters today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Ringo. I am one of the business development managers for Streamwood Behavioral Health Hospital. We're located in Streamwood, Illinois, and we specialize in inpatient and outpatient behavioral health care for children, adolescents, and young adults.
Thank you, Brittany, and we'll be listening to you later. Okay, next up we have NAMI, South Suburban, Marianne.
Good morning. I was going to try to start my video, but I guess it's not working, is it? In any
No,
case,
but that's okay.
I'm Marianne Beethis from NAMI, South Suburbs of Chicago, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh. Well, thank you, Marianne. Oh. Okay. All right, Ariel, you're back. Ariel, oh my God.
I don't know what happened. I got booted out of everything. I am so sorry about that.
Okay, but you're back. And so, Marianne, were you finished with your intro?
I just said I'd love to work with the ARC, and let's see what we can, work out. Thank you.
You know what? That's what we're here for, and we're going to make all of that happen. So you just hold on, because Mary's going to give a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up we have Allison.
Good morning. My name is Alice, originally from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, Allison, you're kind of breaking up.
Helping people.
Allison, you're kind of breaking up. Can you start all over again?
Sure.
Okay.
My name is Allison, and am I still breaking up?
Nope, you're good.
I'm originally from Arkansas. I reside in Southern California. I am in the business of helping people get out of debt, educate them on their protecting their income, and also retirement. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Mr. John Patterson.
Good morning. My name is John Patterson. I am from the Department of Children and Family Services. I am the Family Advocacy Center Outreach Coordinator for Cook County.
All right. Thank you, John. Next up, we have Kristen Hadley. Kristen?
Hi, my name is Kristen Hadley. I'm the president and founder of I Love Myself with CP and ADHD. I'm also a member of Family to Family for Children Mental Health, and also I'm a co-civil lions.
All right, Kristen. Well, thank you and welcome. Next up, we have Ms. Hawkins.
Good morning. My name is Faith Hawkins. I work with Book Family Advocacy Center in south suburbs of South Holland.
Well, welcome, Ms. Hawkins. Next up, we have Dr. G from the Kenna Foundation.
Hi, Suzette. Thank you. I am Dr. Brooklyn Gervais, and I am the CEO of the Kenna Foundation. We have two pillars. We provide SEL community-based workshops to schools to train teachers, principals, and superintendents about cutting-edge SEL strategies to use with their staff and teachers and students. Our second pillar is to serve young girls from the ages of 11 through 18 and provide college scholarships to them, and also mentoring and SEL services. We do a summer camp each year. I am currently in that summer camp, tucked away in a room off in the corner on my phone for this meeting, but I did not want to miss it and be around all of these wonderful game changers here. I am also a children's book author, and we just released one of our books from our 10-part series of Ellie the Elephant and her incredibly normal friends. And so that is available on Amazon if anyone wants to check it out. Oh my goodness, and Suzette has a copy of our book. Ellie and
That's
Bridget.
right. That's what I do.
And so the proceeds go to send these wonderful girls to college that will be empowered and balanced and contribute just like all of the individuals in this room. So thank you for having me, Suzette.
All right. Okay, Brooklyn. Next up, we have Bishop Lance Davis.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I have my video off because I'm multitasking. Good morning, Susan. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Shout out to our monitor from DCFS, Mr. Patterson, and my coworker, Ms. Hawkins, who's already introduced our organization, which is called BOOK. It stands for Building Our Own Community. We provide general counseling and parent training and coaching services, as well as anger management and those types of services for folks who are either in DCFS care or those who are part of the community. And just one quick note, if there's anyone who knows of individuals who have aged out of DCFS care, we would like to, and they are considered to be alumni, we'd like to have a conversation with them about services that are available to them as well. So thank you again, Susan.
Okay, and thank you, Bishop Davis. And absolutely, you and Ms. Hawkins, please, please, please put your information in the chat box so that people who are interested in that information can pull it up. Thank you. Next up, we have Takesha McKinney, full disclosure, my little cousin. Okay, Keisha, you want to introduce yourself? Look, her smiling.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Takesha McKinney. I am a recent graduate of Governor State University. I just received my master's degree in health administration. So currently I'm on the job market. I'm glad to be here with you guys this morning.
Thank you for coming. Put your information in the chat box because we got to find you a job, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and last up, we have Ariel. You didn't get to introduce yourself, Ariel, so please do.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I got booted out of everything. Technology's not on my side today, but I'm Ariel, the Director of Membership and Marketing for Family to Family. And I am also an employee of Northwestern University for the Spider team, and I work with DCFS Illinois. Hey, everybody.
Hey, hey. All right, so welcome once again. And first up, our first speaker today is Mary Dixon, JD, and she is the Director of Family to Family Health Information Center. And she will be providing information on the ARC of Illinois. The ARC advocates for people with intellectual disabilities. And so we welcome Mary. I'm looking over here at the waiting room. We welcome Mary. Thank you for coming, and take it away, Mary.
Okay, before I share my screen, I think Ariel was asking me to make her a co-host. Ariel, let me just see. I went to participants. Let me get out of here for a second.
It booted me out of everything. I can't do anything anymore. And I'm like, oh, now I got booted
Okay,
out of everything.
we better fix this. Let's see. So I am now looking at participants. When I see you and I go to the three dots, I don't have the option to make you a host. It says chat, ask to start video, pin, rename, put in waiting room, remove, and report.
Don't worry about it. I got Kim. Don't worry about it.
You got it? Okay.
Yep, you go ahead. Go ahead with your presentation.
All right.
Okay, wait, well, hold on, Mary. Just before we introduce you, before you start your presentation,
Yeah.
we have two more people that joined us.
Okay.
We have Nancy Aguirre from Nancy, you want to introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm from the Community and Residential Services Authority in Springfield.
Hi, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. And then we have Dave. Who are you, Dave, and where are you from? Dave? Okay, if you're counting on me to be doing all of this technical stuff, we have a problem. Dave? Okay, well, come on, Mary. You just do your thing. I don't know who Dave is, but we'll catch up with him later.
Okay.
All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks so much for inviting me. The ARC of Illinois, I started to say, is the host organization for the Family to Family Health Information Center. Are you all seeing my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I failed to say when I was introducing myself is the ARC of Illinois represents individuals of any age with intellectual or developmental disabilities. And see on this first slide here, I mentioned that I am directing a federal grant, and we are one program of the ARC of Illinois. We're also actually the state affiliate of a national organization called Family Voices. And these are parents and friends of children and youth with any disability and or chronic medical condition. So we serve those two roles. And by way of history, I want to say I have been fortunate enough in this role since December of 2020 to be mentored by an extraordinary family advocate herself, Faye Manister. Her last name could be Mentor. But what Faye did is she was a volunteer state coordinator in 1992 of what was called Illinois Family Voices. Again, that arm of the national organization called Family Voices. And she ran it as a grassroots parent-led organization until 1999. The Federal Health Resources Services Administration, in partnership with that national group, Family Voices, launched pilot sites for these family-to-family health information centers, which is my grant now. And Illinois is one of the first pilot sites with 18 months of funding back in 1999. And then she and the ARC of Illinois applied to HRSA for funding to open an F2F. And in 2006, that was launched. So Faye is the mother of a daughter who's deaf-blind and has cerebral palsy. She's been an extraordinary mentor to me and is still now working as an information specialist for the Illinois Lifespan Program at the ARC of Illinois, about 10 hours a week. So we still have all of her rich talents, both as a parent and professionally, to guide many of us. And so our goals and my deliverables for the federal grant are to provide tools to guide informed decision-making for families. This is the link to the web page. We also have a Facebook page. But one of the things that I do is try to create a 1 or 2 page document that's like a little guide on a topic that's family friendly, that includes links, so that depending on the question, you can get, sort of a resource guide. And I provide a couple of examples here. Some people have children who, we're all a mix of many things, and some children have developmental disabilities, some intellectual disabilities, some both. Some children have mental illness, anxiety, depression, or another diagnosis. Some have physical disabilities, and many, of course, we all are a combination of many physical, developmental, mental health issues. So this first document, Medicaid waivers, whenever I refer to in this presentation to a waiver, I'm talking about home and community-based services that Medicaid covers. And we have 9 in Illinois. And so I get many callers who say, well, what might my children be eligible for? And my goal is to help think about, learn about that family, that child, and think about systems of care and where I may be able to refer them to, what in fact, maybe a child Medicaid waiver. Unfortunately, you know, I don't want to get deep in this separate topic, but here's a little document that shows how, if clinically eligible for the waiver, Medicaid is a benefit for two of our waivers, the medically fragile technology dependent waiver and the DD child support waiver. For the DRS, persons with disabilities waiver, not as many children are on that, young children, but many teens. And the child has to be Medicaid eligible as opposed to getting it as a benefit of being clinically eligible. In other words, a child from a lower income family might be eligible for that waiver. So becoming a dual Medicaid, Medicare eligible recipient, one of the things I do is talk about insurance. What is your insurance? You know, what do you know about it? What can you fight for? How do you appeal within a plan, a Medicaid plan? What do you do if you disagree with what the Medicaid plan said? You can ask for a state fair hearing. What to do if you have private health insurance and another type of insurance, and how do those work together so that people can understand really what they're entitled to and what to do if they're having problems. General Medicaid questions. This is a big one. How do I apply? You know, right now you can call, which is a great addition. You can go to your local office called a Family Community Resource Center. You can do an online application, which is encouraged, because you can also then do a Manage My Case, and that helps annually as there's an annual Medicaid redetermination of income. Or you can send in a written doc. So this is kind of like basics, general Medicaid questions. Illinois also has what's called a spend down. If you bump above the income eligibility, you can show bills to spend down dollar for dollar to meet that Medicaid. And, you know, it's important that we all have health insurance. We're living in a world of preventative health care. You know, we don't want to just be showing up when there's an emergency. So many of us need Medicaid, not only to access a waiver, but obviously for all our health care, birth throughout our lives. And then what's next after an autism diagnosis? These are only a few examples, but if you go to, and you'll see that website there, you'll find a link to the ARC of Illinois fact sheets that include topics on SSI and school, special education resources, other kind of supportive resources. So I'm again talking about the goals. I also do some advocacy. I don't want to read there's too many words on this page, but the gist is to, you know, advocate for improved public and private policies for children with disabilities. So, and these are a couple of examples of how I do that. I am on a committee of the Illinois chapter for the American Academy of Pediatricians, where I can bring up what I'm hearing from families about types of barriers. One big one, for example, is that a lot of families call, they have Medicaid, which means they're in one of our 5 managed care plans, and they're struggling to find ABA therapy after a diagnosis of autism. ABA is just one therapy. The ARC of Illinois and the F2F Health Information Center, we don't endorse a therapy, but when a doctor, a developmental pediatrician says, hey, this is medically necessary for your kid, it's kind of heartbreaking that families are struggling to find a Medicaid provider for that therapy. So again, in terms of public advocacy, I do comment on waiver renewals. Those are applications by the state to the federal government, and to other similar kind of things. I build partnerships among professionals. So one of the main entities, the Division of Specialized Care for Children, you may have heard of this organization. They are also funded by HRSA. They are the main Title V entity in Illinois that handle inquiries and assist through their programs children with special health care needs. That's the federal term. When I look back, I'll just say children with disabilities or chronic health conditions, the way I often describe it. So we do work with different professionals in the agencies I've listed here, including the Division of Developmental Disabilities, Division of Rehab Facilities, Rehabilitation Services, I need to say. Respite, that's a big request. Families are trying to figure out, how can I get help for myself? And we do have a respite program for those who are income eligible. We have children with intellectual developmental disabilities. And of course, hey, Nancy, there you are, the Community and Residential Services Authority, a very important entity in Illinois that helps families plan care for children with serious emotional disorders and mental illness. I also talk to social workers, staff at Children's Hospital, that sort of thing. But the ultimate goal is to be serve as a trusted resource on healthcare. Again, this is just a slide that says, how do I do that? I take intake calls. I might send a family an email with some resources. We try to encourage families to understand, when you have a child with a disability, expect insurance to deny, expect that you have to fight and be that daily advocate. I'm sure many of you know that, but you know, so my goal is to lead you to and understand, you know, how to navigate some of those resources. You can see here, these are hyperlinks if you're interested in seeing what kind of monthly webinars we did in 2021, 2022, and now I'm doing them jointly with another program of the ARC in this year in 2023. So for example, in 2023, the first one we had was Christine Herman, who is the director of HFS Bureau of Behavioral Health, talk about the new program called Pathways to Success. You know, how does that work? Who's eligible? The people who are eligible are children up to age 21 enrolled in Medicaid who have a mental health diagnosis and then are evaluated through a tool called the IMCANS, the Illinois Medicaid Comprehensive Assessment of Needs and Strengths. And this is rolling out, and Christine did offer us a great webinar in January. So sometimes we are offering webinars on the topic of mental health. We've had the Illinois NAMI presenter Terry joined us, and maybe sometime I'd love to have the South Suburban folks or NAMI Chicago so that we continue to provide the resources of NAMI through our Zoom platform. So we do offer a healthcare conference. That's going to be September 14th this year. I do this annually with the ARC of Illinois. It's the only paid F2F conference. So there's a fee for people who are members of the ARC or not members of the ARC, but any family with a child with a disability can apply for a stipend to cover the cost of registration. And that's also included in our brochure. So if you're interested, you're welcome to email me or so I can get that information to you, or I can send it to you, Suzette. So the topics include SSI, Medicaid, the Illinois Health Benefits Programs for Immigrants. We're going to have a panel of families who have children on different waivers. And I'm trying to think what else. But anyway, I welcome you all to join us, and we'll get that brochure to Suzanne to share with the group. We do present at statewide conferences, and I present when invited to any kinds of organizations, state or local organizations. And we use, you know, I told you I have that relationship with National Family Voices. So we have a listserv. There are family-to-family health information centers in every state and some territories. And sometimes I'll be talking to a family, give you a quick example. California actually reached out to me and they were trying to find someone who spoke Spanish for a mother whose child had a rare leukodystrophy. And I had presented for the a place in DeKalb, is based in DeKalb, Illinois, called the United Leukodystrophy Foundation. I knew that their board member spoke Spanish and we were able to connect. She also had a child with leukodystrophy. So the nice thing about being part of a national group, is that we can connect families to families in that way. I'm going to wrap this up quick. I know it's a lot of chat and I want to take some questions, but common resources we offer. Let me make sure if I'm on the right slide. Yeah. So federal types of resources, SSI, supplemental security income, SSDI, who gets that and when and why, Medicare Part D, you know, do I have to get that? People will say, oh, I've got this notice of Medicare. Do I have to do it? Yeah, take all that info very seriously because you could end up paying penalties for not enrolling when you're supposed to. But you can also think about extra help, ways to get costs to cover help to cover the cost of prescriptions is what I mean to say. And of course, you know, through our AID portal, application for benefits eligibility in Illinois, you can apply for SNAP, which is a federal program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, as well as Medicaid and or cash assistance, known as TANF, Temporary Aid to Needy Families. So these are some common state resources. Medicaid, like I've said, All Kids, AABD stands for Aid to the Aged, Blind, and Disabled. ACA, that's the Affordable Care Act Medicaid program for people between the ages of 19 and 64 without dependents. Health benefits for workers with disabilities is a state created benefit. It's like a Medicaid buy-in so that people can be earning over the Medicaid income amounts as individuals with disabilities and still have that Medicaid. And then DHS home and community-based waivers for children and young adults. I talked about DHS stands for Department of Human Services. I talked about a couple of these. The DD child support waiver, and again, that's DD standing for developmental disabilities, is a waiver that you have to be in a crisis to access. By that I mean homeless, there's an abuse situation such that the family cannot control the child and or keep themselves safe or the child safe, or neglect because the caretaker may be ill or hospitalized. Interestingly, I think in 2023, the DHS Division of Developmental Disabilities plans to select 500 children from the waiting list for this waiver called the PUNS. And it'll be based on length of time they've been on that list. But this is good news because, as I said, to date, for the last 12 years, children have only been able to access this waiver when in a crisis, as I described. When I talk about waivers, I just want to remind the group to understand waiver is a set of services to help a different vulnerable population. And we have 9 vulnerable populations that are Medicaid waivers in Illinois. So I talk about the residential waiver, adults with DD waiver. We have a long waiting list there, and a federal consent decree that's helping set up the time frame within which people can access that waiver. If a person has an intellectual developmental disability, they get on this waiting list called the PUNS. At age 18, this time starts running. By 23, they're selected to apply. And the reason it's helpful to families is they can consider what are called community integrated living arrangements, group homes, for example, or they can enroll their young adult child in what's called the home-based services program, and then get a certain set of monthly funding that's not a check to them or their loved one, but that they draw down monthly for services like personal support that can really help a person's life. Not all people in this waiver have guardians, so we also talk obviously with a number of what are called, we call the self-advocates, individuals with an intellectual disability who have other options to get assistance, like supported decision-making agreements. That's a new Illinois tool. DSCC, again, that's the Division of Specialized Care for Children. They run the medically fragile technology dependent waiver. Very smaller number of kids. So these are children who may have a technological need to live, like a CPAP or a ventilator, as well as a G tube or a J tube or a central line, oxygen, et cetera. And the DRS, Division of Rehabilitation Service, persons with disability, they cover these 3 topics: persons with disabilities, brain injury, HIV, through their DRS Home Services program. And I mentioned respite. I'm sorry, I do go too long on that slide. Suzette, forgive me. And
that's okay. The information you're providing is invaluable. So you just go ahead on, girl.
All right, thank you. And on the website, the website of the FDEF program, you can find these links. These are hyperlinks. So if you know of and you want to share any of these, please do use them. They're there to be accessed. Circle of Care guidebook for caregivers of children with rare and or serious illnesses. And these others here, I won't go through them, but I mentioned this one website because if there is a family with a child in the medically fragile technology dependent waiver, Susan Agrawal, who herself is a mom with a child, Karuna, was in the waiver. She died at age 12. Susan created this exclusive to families, not for professionals, and that's a help for families who want to get support from each other. And I have been working to build up the resources for families with behaviorally complex children. We know we in Illinois and nationally have had a crisis in children accessing healthcare. Their lives and anxiety, depression have been exacerbated by the pandemic. I did create this mental health resources in Illinois document that I hope can be somewhat of a family guide. It talks about, how to begin if you have private insurance or if you have Medicaid, what's available, emergency, non-emergency. And then I've created a separate fact sheet. The link is not here, but for mental health resources for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. You can view them both, and they may be of help to you. I mean, it probably does not include everything. In fact, I know it doesn't, but it's meant to be a guide. And then I mentioned the Pathways to Success program that I talked about, Christine Herman offering a webinar on tiered in-home services for children with complex behavioral health enrolled in Medicaid up to age 21. And then I am not certain, to be honest with you, to what extent Pathways is incorporating some of these other programs. Maybe Nancy, you can highlight that for us or answer that question. we have had historically what was called the Illinois Care Grant. And this was helpful to families who may have been looking for residential placement for their child, the funding source being from school, maybe the Division of Developmental Disabilities elsewhere. And that has the individual care grant became what's called the HFS Family Support Program, where families could apply, try to get this funding. And then the Specialized Family Support, another program. I provide a link here. I'm not certain, as we speak, to what extent the Behavioral Health Division of HFS is incorporating these old programs with the new Pathways to Success program. So I have links here, but this seems to be a little bit in flux, and maybe that's my understanding anyway. Nancy, you could educate me on that.
You've got it exactly right. It's in flux at the moment.
Okay. Well, good. And then there's a CRSA PowerPoint, because your former director, Nancy, did a webinar for the Family Health Information Center. She actually spoke at one of our conferences. So there's a little hyperlink to a PowerPoint from the CRSA. Common state types of questions, private insurance or private health insurance. How do these insurances work together? And Medicaid managed care. What kinds of questions do I get there? Well, when can I switch plans? How can Medicaid pay for diapers? And it does, ages 4 to 99. I feel sorry for the 100-year-olds who might need it, but this is for people who have, 4-year-olds who have a prescription because they're having difficulty being diaper trained. And so it's not for sort of a neurotypical child at any age. I do get calls like that. And so, thinking about how to appeal a denial and how to get a care coordinator, lots of people have questions about this. They may know, for example, as I said, we have 5 Medicaid managed care plans in Illinois. You may, if you don't enroll in the first 30 days, you're going to be auto-enrolled. You have one chance to change the plan. Otherwise, annually, you can only change your plan within 60 days prior to the annual anniversary date for that individual. And why might you want to switch plans? Well, you got to figure out who your providers are. Do they take Medicaid? What plans do they take? And make choices based on that. You can also ask your provider, if you had a long-term relationship with them, can you do a single case agreement to keep me on as a client? But, when I work with families who have children with special healthcare needs and sometimes medically complex, lots of specialists, not only do they benefit from asking for a care coordinator, but they have, they have to make sure that the providers they've seen, if they had private health insurance at one point and then somebody retires and there's no coverage any further, or a child is aging out of ACA, they can be on a private health plan up to age 26. You've got to be aware of the types of insurance that your main providers take, providers and specialists. So these are the kinds of questions, and there's my contact information, our website, our Facebook page link, and I'll take questions. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Mary. Wait, you know what, Mary, before we take questions for you, because there are a couple of people that put some questions in the chat box, but there were a couple of people that joined us, and I would just like for them to introduce themselves before we go on. Yeah. First up is April Tolbert. April, want to introduce yourself and say who you are, where you're from?
Everyone, and I'm having problems with my camera. April Tolbert, Cook County Department of Public Health and our Community Engagement Health Education Unit. I see my wonderful colleague Kelly Jones is also on. Happy to be here. I haven't been here in a couple of months. And Mary, I really enjoyed the part of the presentation that I heard. As our families are constantly looking for resources around mental health, and particularly around children that have disability. So thank you for your presentation. And Suzette, as always, thank you for all the work that you do.
Okay, no problem. Next up, we have Teresa Ramirez, my girl. Teresa. Okay, well, I don't know what happened, but Teresa is from Metropolitan Family Services, and she is with the Visiting Nursing Program. And then we have birth to 5, Geraldine Johnson. Geraldine?
Hey, Suzette. I
Hey.
love this color. It's so pretty.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Geraldine Johnson. I am here on behalf of the CARE Alliance, formerly known as Birth to Five Forum, and also Speed Family Enrichment Program. We are a group of early childhood programs working together to help close the gaps in providing early childhood services to families from birth to age 5. And we also connect them with your lovely services that you have out in the community. So I would love to connect. Suzette, is there a way that I could get contact info? You know what? I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. If anybody is interested in working with us to help make sure that children from from prenatal to age 5 are receiving the services that they need, I would love to connect with you. Thank you.
Well, you know what, Geraldine, that is a perfect segue, because then I was going to say, everyone make sure that you sign the digital sign-in sheet, the attendance sheet, and you can do that on the chat box. And then, Geraldine, you can contact us later and we can get you the information for people that were on the meeting.
Okay, great.
All right. And so I see that. Thank you, Geraldine, and thanks for
bye-bye.
coming. I see that Teresa, my girl, is back.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I couldn't find my unmute.
And you're on mute again.
Got it.
Okay, there you go.
Laptop. So yes. So I'm Teresa Ramirez, and I'm the social worker for a program you did a great job, Susette, for Nurse Family Partnership. So it's a program we serve first-time moms, low income. They gotta be less than 28 weeks. And yeah, so basically that's it. And we operate out of Metropolitan Family Services.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So Mary, we're going to get to you with questions, but before we do that, I just want to highlight this because these people might have to go. The first book I'd like to highlight, if people can see, it is Just Like Music, Social Emotional Learning Inspired by Hip Hop by our very own David Spellman. Okay. And if you need information about it, please contact me, but he's on Amazon. Okay. And the second book I'd like to highlight, I hope you can see it, Ellie and Bridget's First Day of School, and that's by Dr. Brooklyn Gervais. Okay. All right. And I don't know if it's on Amazon, but if you'd like to purchase it, you can contact me, or she can put her information in the chat box and then you can get the book. All right. So Mary, if people have questions, and Mary put her information in the chat box too. But if people have questions, the forum is open for, you can ask questions for Mary. And I know that there were a couple of people that put some questions in the chat box. So
I have one.
Okay, Kristen, go ahead.
Mary, do you work with Shirley Perez and her daughter, Tamika Perez?
Yes.
So I don't know, Mary, did you hear Kristen?
I heard, she said, yeah, was she going to ask a question? I didn't hear the question.
Do you work with Shirley Perez?
Oh, Shirley, yes. In fact, when I started at the ARC,
her daughter,
Tamika.
Okay.
Served by Envision. Do you have services from Envision?
No, but I know about her.
Tamika? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, I do. I do know them both well. I was also multitasking. Forgive me. I'm so sorry because I was listening and also finishing that. So yes, I do know them both. Shirley is actually director of one of the ARC programs, the Liggis Family Advocate Program. And Stanley Liggis is the name of the lead plaintiff in the Liggis consent decree. That is a lawsuit requiring the Division of Developmental Disabilities to remove people from the waiting list so that they can access the Adults with DD waiver.
Okay.
And
Do you know Kimberly Johnson?
I do. Kim is on our board. She's new to the CRSA, and she is actually working as the committee chair of our organizational diversity, equity, and inclusion plan. So I'm working closely with Kim on that project, but she's also a board member of the ARC of Illinois. Yeah.
Okay,
She's
so
grown.
Kristen has an organization. Kristen is the executive director of organization that works with people with developmental disabilities. And Kristen, can you just tell Mary the name of your organization again?
I love myself with CPNATHD networking group.
Very good.
Great. Well, nice to meet you, Kristen. I appreciate that. Good.
Very good. And then Kristen, if you have additional questions for Mary, she put her information in the chat box. And Kristen, if you could put your information in the chat box, that would be wonderful. Okay, so Marianne, I know you had a question for Mary. Marianne?
It might have been, what is DD? And I did send that to everybody. Developmental disabilities. What is DDD? The Division of Developmental Disabilities. And I apologize because we get so acronym comfortable, and it doesn't help families when we do that. So
we need to create our own dictionary.
Yeah, yeah, and we need to slow it down. And I sometimes I'm really conscientious and good about that, and I say every word. And then sometimes, like in a PowerPoint, I'm trying to get too much on a page, but nonetheless, there's no excuse for all the acronyms, right? Developmental disability, DD, and Division of Developmental Disabilities, DDD. If that answers your question, Marianne.
Thank you. Is there a list maybe of the different acronyms?
There are many lists. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, and I'm happy, to send you one, but depending on the topic area, there'll be their own set of acronyms. So when you say a general list, I can send you, different lists that we have.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And Nancy, did you want to just add some information about your organization, the organization that you work for, that it's just like a follow-up to what Mary presented on?
Sure. Community and Residential Services Authority is working with all of the state agencies and primarily with families to try and help guide them through the processes when they come to us and they don't necessarily have connections to, say, someone through developmental disabilities. We hook them up with whoever their local agency is and help walk them through that process so they know what they kind of need in advance for to establish eligibility. If it's through mental health, we work on finding them the local provider. The FSP that Mary mentioned earlier, we assist the families in getting the eligibility criteria established so that they can determine whether or not a child is eligible for funding for residential treatment. We also walk families through some of the other funding opportunities and help them figure out which are the right funding streams for them to access. Just clearly, children who are strictly mental health are not going to qualify for a developmental disability program. So we don't want people running around kind of applying to everything and making themselves that much more stressed when they start getting a bunch of denials. So that's kind of where we are. And right now we work with we are actually expanding our role with the Children's Behavioral Health Transformation Initiative. And we will be accepting clients through them as well, which will expand what we are doing across the state.
Thank you, Nancy.
And Mary, I do need to get you an updated PowerPoint because we have changed our website address.
Okay. You mean I'd used a hyperlink to the old presentation from Deb? Is that what you meant?
I'm hoping it will forward it. Yeah. But
Okay.
if it doesn't, then I can get an updated one to everybody.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yep.
And before we go, I just want to touch base with Dr. Evisha Ford and her center, I Can Dream Center, which also provides the same some of the services that Mary spoke about. Evisha, are you still with us or?
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening on the edge of my seat and so
Okay.
happy for all of these, the information that's been shared today.
Okay, all right, because I know what you do at your center, it also piggybacks on some of the stuff that is being provided today. So I just want people to understand, and you could put your information in the chat box because then they could contact you about the different services that you provide that is piggybacking off of what Mary talked about.
Sure. Yeah, we serve students, young students ages 3 to 9, which is a new program in 2020. We are a 10-year-old program, a therapeutic school, and we started as a high school into adulthood. This September, we are actually going to reintroduce our ABA program, which we discontinued during the pandemic. So we're excited to bring that back because there's such an intense need, as you referenced, Mary. We're also going to host our 3rd annual adulting conference, November 8th, and that is geared toward graduating seniors with the disabilities and their parents. And so would love to have you come, Mary, and share some of this with our parents who are, you know, in theory, they would have received this information some time ago, but we know that's not always the way it works. And so we try to provide a host of resources. We do have an open resource fair. So if there are folks who think that they would have something to offer to our parents and our high school seniors, they're welcome to attend or to reach out to us about the adulting conference, and lots of exciting things on the horizon. We have our 10-year gala coming up at Carnival on October 5th as well. So we're super excited about that. So lots of things happening at the Icon Dream Center, and we're located in Tinley Park, but we do serve about students from about 35 school districts, and we have we serve roughly 115 students, and we do now have a waiting list for our young students, but we expect a couple slots to open up later in the year.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Evisha. Go
Go
ahead, Mary. You had a comment?
Did you share with everyone the PowerPoint? Or will Kimberly do that?
Kimberly will do that. You know, that's not my expertise, but
Okay.
Kimberly
But I
will
just
do-
wanted to make it available to attendees, you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And then just once again, I just want to encourage everyone to sign the attendance sheet, and then any information that you need from this presentation or the next, you can contact myself, Ariel, or Kimberly, who is our Executive Director, Family to Family and National Provider Network. Ariel, you had something to say here?
I put it in the chat. I'm getting ready to put my contact information in the chat, but Cope Cyber Lions is hosting a free skating party. And I put it in the chat for everyone to sign up for it, get your free tickets. And if you do attend, the only thing you have to pay is the $3 for the skate rental. Otherwise, everything else is free, admission and everything. So come on out and support.
All right, thank you. And you know what? Could you do me a favor? Could you put my information in the chat box, also my email?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so does anybody else have any more questions for Mary before we move on? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Mary.
Okay,
It has been a blast.
I have to leave. I'm sorry, but thank you.
Okay.
All. Delighted to
All
meet
right.
you all.
Okay.
Take it easy. Okay.
All right, so thank you. And next up, we have my girl, Brittany Ringo, who is the manager of marketing for Streamwood Behavioral Health Hospital, which is a psychiatric facility in Streamwood, Illinois. So for children, adolescents, and adults. So Brittany, it's all yours, baby.
All righty. Good morning, everybody. How are you all?
Hey.
Yeah, okay. All righty. We're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna be mindful of the time as well, because I know I can talk a little bit. So Suzette, feel free to interrupt me at any time. Okay.
You're good. We're good with time. You're all right. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Good. All righty. All right. Okay, so I am Brittany Ringo. I am one of the business development managers for Streamwood Behavioral Health Care System. We are an acute psychiatric hospital located in Streamwood, Illinois, dominating the northwest suburbs of Illinois. Our specialty is primarily children, adolescents, and young adults. We take patients in starting at the age of 4 all the way through the age of 55. What differentiates Streamwood Behavioral Health Hospital amongst the other hospitals is that everything that we do within our healthcare system is geared toward mental health. Our providers, our staff there, everybody is trained to be able to combat and provide healing for some of the most acute behavioral health disorders. I'm sorry, could you guys hear me? I didn't know if that was me.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead on. You're doing
Okay.
great.
Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Yes. But like I was saying, yes, we provide healing and, for some of the most acute behavioral health disorders. Many of our patients that come in are actively suicidal. They have a plan or are actively homicidal. The bulk amount of beds that we do have within Streamwood, we have a total of 174 within our hospital, but the bulk amount of them are for children and adolescents. So we are we would consider ourselves as the premier provider of behavioral health for that population. Within our units, we have an inpatient unit, and we also have an outpatient unit as well. And then on our campus, we also have a therapeutic day school. The hospital itself has been around for 31 years. Within freestanding psychiatric facilities, we've been doing the work for the longest. We were the first one to open up in Illinois. So as far as our resources and, our ability to be able to provide what we need to do within our community, we know our information the best. Like I said, within our hospital units, I'll start with inpatient first. We have a child unit. We have 2 adolescent units. We have an adult unit, and then we also have a forensic unit. And I'll go into depth and break down, how these units function. So for the child unit, those are for individuals starting obviously at age 4 through 11. We treat them for suicidal ideations, behavioral disorders, anxiety, depression. Formerly, we did have a unit that was geared to, children who did present on the autism spectrum disorder, but with COVID, after that, the resources that we had within our hospital kind of got depleted with the amount of staffing to keep up. So hopefully in the future, we'll be able to bring that back. But within our services, what did remain was our therapeutic day school for that population. For our adolescent units, many of our beds are dedicated to, children and adolescents, and the bulk of them is for adolescents, which is what we see at our hospital a lot. We have 2 units, and the reason why we have that is because we use a model of DBT therapy to be able to treat our patients. Some of them, we separate our caseloads and the patients by their acuity. One of our units is called ITU, and it stands for the internalizing behaviors that some of the, adolescents may face. And internalizing, mental health behaviors that will warrant a psychiatric admissions is if they have, problems that present within themselves and they want to take actions upon themselves. So they're feeling depressed or suicidal, and their plan is to take their own life, not to release or deal with their behaviors externally, like, maybe hit someone or try to go after someone. They want to hurt themselves. This is all things that are, work that is, being done within the inside. So outside of that, we do have the ATU unit. So I don't really like to label this, oh, okay, that's more for the aggressive kids. Everybody within behavioral health, when those symptoms show up, the nature of it is all aggressive. So, but these patients, they display their behaviors outwardly. So often, some of those patients that are coming in, they might have been feeling suicidal or may have been battling with some anger management. They may have, disrupted their homes. They might have been fighting other people in school, or, destroying property or getting, in trouble with law enforcement. There's an array of issues that, could be presented, in an external environment. So that is where we separate both of those units for our adolescent population. Within our adult unit, it is co-ed, is within itself. We do still utilize DBT therapy through all of the units. That is at the top. We have it to age 55. the programs that we do offer for that unit are geared toward the young adult population. Our goal is to stabilize them in hopes to, reintegrating them back into the community so they could be able to obviously find employment, take care of themselves, take care of their families, and things that they need to be a successful adult. For our forensics unit, within the state of Illinois, there are 5 forensic units. These units are for individuals who have been brought through the arraignment, and they may have done a charge, they may have committed a crime, and they, I guess, been in front of a judge or a law enforcement, and they have presented behavioral issues where, you know, people within the legal system they believe that they are maybe unfit to stand trial. So we do offer, we have the forensics unit that we offer is for adolescent males, ages 12 all the way through 17. And we have a partnerships with the Department of Human Services. We offer psychological testing, to make sure that they are fit to stand trial and can understand the regular court procedures for the charges that are being, presented to them. It's a 12-bed unit. We don't really market it within our communities because this unit is directly dedicated to clients within the Department of Human Services. The typical stay for this forensics unit is not our typical hospital stay. Many of our patients, regular inpatient stay is like 7 to 10 days. Forensics sometimes can be 6 months to a year. Which, if you can imagine, sitting in a locked facility in a hospital, how, aggravating that can be. That is not by our power or our wish. Psychological testing doesn't take that long, but we are at the mercy of the judges. We cannot release them back into the community until they are, legally fit to stand trial. And within the court system and moving through so many cases like that, sometimes individuals do tend to stay at our hospital on that floor for about 6 months to a year. So a lot of the programs that we do offer for the adolescent male population, they will, do things that normally that we won't, offer within our regular inpatient unit because they're still kids. We still have to give them some type of quality of life. Automatically just being there, a lot of their freedom is being stripped from them. And we want to be able to still be able to take care of their mental state, as well as, making sure that they're psychologically fit to stand trial. During their stay at our hospital, we want to, add more trauma to the situation that they are already in. Outside of inpatient stay, the next step down within our healthcare system is our inpatient and our outpatient program, where we offer PHP and IOP for just children and adolescents. Reasons being, Streamwood does offer programs for adults, but within the core focus of what we do, a lot of our service are geared toward children and adolescents. So right now, we only offer that population PHP and IOP. We utilize our sister hospitals, such as River Edge, refer them to their PHP and IOP program for the adult, and that's available through TelePsych as well. Within partial hospitalization, that's a little bit more intensive. Patients are coming and going every day. They can be, attending therapy up to about 3 to 4 times a week within an 8-hour session. So after they, complete that successfully, usually they step down to an IOP program. The IOP program runs through the hours of 4 to 7 p.m. Through weekdays, and it's also available throughout the school year and in the summer. This is, the transitional step after the PHP program. Our IOP, one thing that's good about our IOP program is we are very flexible, dealing with primarily children and adolescents. We have busy families that we have to be able to accommodate. So, traditionally, other places might require like an assessment done. You have to be enrolled into the program. Whether you've been in our hospital, the inpatient program or not, you can actually be able to just walk into our IOP clinic, sign up that day, and begin services immediately. So that's one thing that's special about Streamwood's IOP program is it's accessible. There's no wait list for it. We have 10 psychiatrists within our network. that are, rounding, doing the outpatient services, providing medication management for many other children, and individual psychiatry sessions within that as well. Um, After the outpatient services, the therapeutic day school, which is called our Innovations Academy, it is approved by the state of Illinois, the Board of Education. This is a real school. It's divided into two programs for individuals who are 8 all the way through 21. Many people who are referred to the Innovations Academy may suffer from a learning disability or have an IEP, or maybe have issues with the battling the autism spectrum disorder. We say age 21 because sometimes it takes a little longer for them to be able to obtain their education that they need. So we do that until they are completely ready to graduate. The students there, they work on self-sufficiency and transitioning. They can stay beyond the 12th grade, but we do promote the positive behavioral intervention model within our classrooms. Our therapeutic day school, we do use our classrooms throughout the summer, obviously to facilitate some of the IOP kids that do attend throughout then. Those are the same teachers. We work in conjunction with U46 school district. Many of our patients are coming from those those school districts that are around Streamwood. That's kind of like the largest school district within Illinois. So we see a lot of families from far and near for the Innovations Academy. The school hours, we run through like a regular school year. We start back our school semester in August and we end in May. Throughout it, many of the students there, they have trouble functioning in a regular classroom setting, or if they're attending regular public school, they might need that additional support. Sometimes they may have a behavior that maybe disrupts the classroom, their learning, their peers, their environment. They may not feel that public schools give them an environment to be able to learn and be able to take care of their mental health at the same time. So often, while students are within our therapeutic day school, their illnesses do present, and they are able to get treatment right then and there on campus. Some of the plans for the future within Streamwood is to obviously develop and grow our relationships within our community. We've been around for a long time, but within our 31 years of existence, we had, a change within our corporation. We were bought by a larger healthcare organization called United Health Systems, which is UHS. They're notoriously known for their behavioral health hospitals. We have a total of 430 of them throughout the world, with one opening up in Puerto Rico. So within that parent corporation, they gave Streamwood a lot of resources to redevelop their services. But in our community, as we were before, we'd like to be known for being the premier provider for children and adolescent behavioral health. Underneath all of the DBT that we do and the issues that we do work on, we deal with childhood trauma. And that's what makes Streamwood really special, is because their therapy and getting the appropriate mental health, you can access it anywhere, but you have to find the right program for you. And then when it comes for your child, you really want to make sure that you're going to the right place that is child friendly, with trained therapists that's used to working with that population and that is aware of certain behaviors that would present and say, okay, yes, this could have been a traumatic situation for my child. This could have caused this, So a lot of those behaviors are hidden, especially in our ITU unit with that population, which we have the most. A lot of parents come in, dealing with, okay, my child attempted suicide, but they had no signs. I didn't see it anywhere, and some of our therapists, they all are trained to be able to, go through the family history, literally from birth all the way up until that child's age, and dig deep and identify the roots of what may have caused that. So along with stabilizing our patients, of what we do, identify the roots, and then we refer and recommend our patients to the appropriate services that they need within the community. We have a healthcare system, but we can't do it all. But our goal is to stabilize them so they can benefit from the programs that we do refer them to within our healthcare system, whether you're stepping down to PhD IHP or IOP in our network are going to, another provider that is maybe closer to your home. Streamwood provides services, to individuals throughout the whole entire state of Illinois and actually throughout the surrounding states. The need for inpatient stabilization is growing each year, especially within the child and adolescent population. So sometimes we'll get patients all the way from Missouri or Wisconsin. A lot of that's the St. Louis Children's Hospital down, right at the end of the state. So people are traveling over 5 hours to be able to get their child some help. So this is more serious than, oh, you just had an inpatient stay. We really want to open the doors to Streamwood and allow the community to understand, break down the stigma of mental health and really, understand the priority that is happening within our youth of our future. If we don't take care of their minds, we don't take care of our future itself, because they're going to lead us. So I know I said a lot right there, within my presentation. You guys can ask me any questions where I can be able to dig deep within, what we do at Streamwood. But primarily, my goal, for this presentation is I want you all to know what we do, what we specialize in, who it's for, and where you can where you can be able to get our services from. There's a lot of different hospitals within Illinois, many of them within the northwest side of Illinois, where Streamwood is the only provider for children and adolescents. That's solely a freestanding psychiatric facility outside of Linden Oaks and Silver Oak. So within that, that's only 3 hospitals identified. There's just not enough. There's not enough providers to be able to keep up with the need. I also would like to highlight too, some expansions that we are making within some of the insurances that we do accept. Streamwood, their provider. So a lot of the kids that we see, they are in the DCFS system, and we're glad to be able to continue on with our DCFS license, just to be able to have a resource for them, for those children who do present with behavioral health issues around, that may arise within their stay. Also, we are now in network with TRICARE for our young adult program. We are building some of our resources around our veteran community. There was a law that was passed out in Illinois about 2 months ago. It's called the Compact Law. So any adult that has served in any of the military that doesn't have a dishonorable discharge can now qualify for behavioral health services covered for free under that Compact Law. So that's something that's new within Streamwood that we really want to get out into the community, because working with some vets that we have already, they like to take referrals just from other formal vets because they feel safe. They don't want to say, we have these resources for you, and then you go into a program and it's not what was been told to you. So we're really trying to make kind of like a peer-to-peer veterans program where we can be able to refer other veterans from other communities without Illinois, and let them know about the services that they do have that are open at our hospital and at others. And I think that is it for me right now. That is it.
Oh my goodness, Brittany, you were like right on point. It's like 20 minutes. I'm like, good.
I did? Oh, good. Okay, I was speaking really fast, looking at the timer. I was like, okay, she said 15 minutes. So I'm sorry for that being so quick. I know that was a lot of information I threw at you all, but thank you, Suzette, for just having me, available to present to your coalition. And like, I look forward to actually doing this again, doing a little bit more formal setting, because we offer a lot within our healthcare system, and I want to be able to really give you guys, the full understanding of what we do and what's it's for, so you can be confident in our services.
Okay, cool beans. You know what? I'm going to open it up for questions, and I'm going to be first because I have a couple of questions. But first of all, I just want to say, hey, Shanae, how are you? Okay, so insurance. Number one, I'm just going to give these 3 questions. So insurance, what insurance does Streamwood take? Number 2, do you have transportation? And number 3, if you want to participate or you want to be enrolled in the therapeutic day school, how do you go about that? Okay, and then I'll sit back and listen.
Okay. Yep. So insurance right now, we are in network with almost all of the managed Medicaid plans. 70% of our patients do have the managed Medicaid plans, and we do accept the private pay as well. So pretty much all of them we do accept. The newest one that we just added to our list was the TRICARE.
Okay.
And that's not just for adults, that's also for children and adolescents too, up until their age 21, is because they'll age out of it.
Okay.
And then what was the next question?
Transportation.
Transportation. So during the school year, Streamwood does provide transportation within, I think, a 10 to 15 mile radius from our facility. So that's why we're getting a lot of patients from that U46 school district because, you know, they're literally right behind our little neighborhood. They live within our area. So that's the transportation that we can provide for our services. And that's to our outpatient services only, which is inpatient and outpatient, because it's an everyday thing. Inpatient stay, you'll be there for 7 to 10 days.
Okay. And then if someone wants to enroll their child in the therapeutic day school, do they have to go through their homeschool or homeschool district, or how does that work?
No, they do not have to go through their homeschool district. They can set up an appointment with our principal at Streamwood, and we can be within our healthcare system. They don't have to come with a referral. If they have never, been to a therapeutic day school, they don't have any type of IEP, we do offer other services, that are under our outpatient clinic with our psychiatrists to be able to do some psychological testing and identify maybe a learning disability, or maybe also identify if they are presenting on the autism spectrum disorder and will qualify for the Innovations Academy.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Brittany? I see no hands. I hear no one. It's like crickets. Beep, 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 beep. Well, Brittany, I just want to say thank you so very much for coming to our Zoom party, and thank you for your presentation. And I would just like to, I appreciate you, girl. I would just like to open it up. If people have announcements for upcoming events, now is your opportunity to talk about your announcements or events that are coming up. Anyone? Crickets.
Hey, Suzette, this is Kelly. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, okay. It's not an announcement, but I just got information on a grant opportunity this morning. So I wanted to share. You guys may be interested. So I'll just read it, and then I'll forward the email to Suzette so she can share it with the listserv for anyone who may be interested. But the National Network of Public Health Institutes has an opportunity for CBOs to share their best practices and lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic. They're looking to select 10 CBOs across the nation who will be funded $60,000 each. This project is to benefit health departments in participating. While this project is to benefit health departments, they don't need to be part of that larger grant that came out during COVID-19. So it's time sensitive. The informational session is July 31st, and the proposal due date is August 7th. So really quick turnaround. So I'll send all of this with the detailed information to Suzette, and she can forward it for anyone who may be interested. I think it's a great opportunity.
Thank you, Kelly.
No
Thank
problem.
you so very much. Anybody else have any announcements or anything that they want to, information that they want to share with the group? Ariel, you had come in.
No, I was just going to thank Brittany again and tell her thank you for being so thorough. I didn't have any questions because she had answered everything. That's all. And I was just thanking her for coming. That's it. And just check the chat. Everybody's put their contact information in there. Please make sure you sign the attendance sheet. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. And I know Shanae Williams was a little bit late. Shanae, you want to, I don't know where, I don't see your name. Okay. You want to tell people about what you do or where you're from or whatever? I just want to give you that opportunity. Shanae? Okay. Maybe not. All right. So I just want to thank
Lizette, did
everyone.
you Suzette,
Okay.
did you call my name?
Yes, I did, Shanae. I know
Hey.
that you joined us a little bit late. I just
I
wanted to
did.
give you the opportunity to inform people about where you're from and what you do.
Hi guys, I am Shanae Weems with River Edge Hospital. I am actually a sister hospital with Streamwood. Trying to get this right. I just got through doing a presentation here at the Kenna Foundation. So I am the community liaison at River Edge Hospital, Psychiatric Hospital, located in Forest Park. We service the lifespan, offering mental health, behavioral health services, and short-term stabilization. So like I said, we are the sister hospital to Streamwood. So the same services, similar services that Streamwood offers, River Edge offer as well. So
the only difference is River Edge does not accept DCFS wards, correct?
That is a major difference. Yes. That is a major difference. And River Edge services the full lifespan. So we service adult seniors as well.
Okay.
Those are the two main differences.
Very good to know.
Thank you, Suzette.
You're welcome. I didn't want you to feel left out, baby. So anybody else? Brittany, I see you took your unmuted yourself. Did you want to make any comments before we go?
Oh, yep. I was just saying thank you all for allowing me to present. And I was just saying hello to Shanae as well. Yes, Streamwood and River Edge are both their UHS hospitals, but out of the UHS hospitals in Illinois, we are our services are literally like mirroring each other. We just differentiate within the populations that we do serve. So yes, we are sister hospitals.
Thank you, Brittany. And before we go, Bishop Davis, I just want you to highlight just again when you talked about the alumni, DCFS alumni, and how Book provides services to that population, because I want people to hear that.
Yeah, sure. What we're looking at is providing just that urgent support for those who have aged out, the alumni of DCFS care. That's in sometimes housing assistance as well as transportation assistance. And so once we have an assessment, we can determine how much we can help, to what degree we can help. But that's what we're looking for. So those up to age 30 and those folks who are alumni. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you so much, Bishop Davis.
Thank you for the time.
You're welcome. So Ariel, just one question. Was Kim able to rejoin us? Or no? Ariel? No? Okay. So
no, I couldn't get it. I couldn't take the button. I'm sorry. No, she wasn't. I'm sorry.
Okay. So on behalf of Kimberly Haynes, the Executive Director of National Provider Network LAN 53 and Family to Family, and Ariel Donovan, our Director of
membership and marketing.
Yep, that. And me, Suzette Logan, who is the Director of Resource Development. I would just like to say thank you very much. And we are going to conclude this meeting at 11:29, almost 11:30. And I just want to say thank you to anybody else. Before we go, any other announcements? Anybody else want to make announcements or give information about events coming up?
Bishop, I put Brittany's information in the chat. Is it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you know what? I would just wish everyone a happy day. Make it a great day and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for coming. And just one more thing before we go. Next month, we're going to try to do in person a meeting as opposed to Zoom. And we're working on a place to have it, but it looks like we're going to try to do it at the DCFS office in Harvey. So we are working on that, but hope to see all of you next month. And I just want to say thank you so very much. And then please just share the information that we have provided. Thanks a lot and have a great day. Bye.